Well, hello there, everyone. How you doing there? Welcome to Mazske Finance World here in country of Panama. It's Wednesday, October the 4th, year 2023. Hope you're doing outstanding. If you watch my videos much, you might remember me saying I'm still in South Florida, but I'm down in Panama now. And I'm back up on a rooftop in this condo building. We're here one more night. Then we head to our little house we're going to get. Beautiful little house, though. I say little, but it's a total of 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. But 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom is in a casita, separate from the main house. So anyway, with that being said, I'm asking finance. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. Something I'm going to talk about today is how much do you sacrifice on your path to financial freedom? I want you to think about that. How much should you and do you sacrifice on your path to financial freedom? What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? What I mean is, because you can read this online, you can look at forums, you can look at financial independence sites, retire early sites, and so on and so on. What I mean by that is you will read stories about folks who will discuss lean, like extremely lean financial independence. All they care about is sacrificing everything today. They will walk, they won't buy a car, they'll live in the cheapest possible rental. They'll wear threadbare clothing or do whatever to save a dollar here, a dollar there, living as tight as anything to get the bare minimum to live on so they can just stop working. I don't recommend doing that. Okay. You may get the impression from me that I've lived something like that, and that's a big no. I have not. While I was growing up as an adult and planning to retire early, because I started planning to become financially independent back in 1999. Okay, that's when I first heard about the concept. That's when I first started planning for it. But along the next 20 years or so, what I did was I loved my 2 children. I lived vicariously through my 2 boys. I took them to sporting events, uh, athletic things that they were participating in, the theater that they participated in, music classes they participated in, and I participated as well. I was in plays in a community theater with them. I was an extra. Then I became the spotlight guy. I watched them in baseball games. I didn't coach a baseball team, but I was there at most games. They became runners. I'd be out on the cross country course. One of the few parents who would run parts of the course to watch my boys at different spots as they passed by to cheer them on. Okay? That's what I did. Why did I do that? Because number one, I love my boys. And number two, I like to run and I like the adventure of cross country courses. Okay? So, but was money tight for me? Kind of, sort of. But at the same time, my 30-year mortgage on my house in Virginia, I paid that house off in 17 years. Sure, I didn't go out and buy new vehicles, but my vehicles weren't junk. I just kept driving them. They weren't junk, they weren't falling apart. And along the way, even now, like I've said on my channel, I'm lean financially independent. How lean am I? How lean am I? You can answer that from watching my videos. I don't need to answer this for you. You can answer it. Where am I at right now? I am standing rooftop on a condo building in a very beautiful country, the country of Panama. You see the ocean behind me. You see a pool behind me. There's not a single person here right now. It's I think it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. There's no one up here yet. Okay, I can walk to the other side of the building and I get another view. All right. Meanwhile, and I am moving into a house tomorrow that's, like I said, a 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom with a swimming pool. It's a beautiful house, you know, and we should love it there. We won't be right on the beach like we are now, though. That's the downside. But say up here, you look out, there's green, there's mountains, there's ocean, there's beaches. Look at those beaches down there. That beach. See that beach out runs down, and right there it hangs a turn that way. We're going to be in a house somewhere over in here, maybe like a 5 to 7 or 8 or 10 minute walk to the beach. Not right on the beach, but we'll have to walk a little bit. Okay. So my encouragement to you is do start investing, do strive for financial independence, but don't forget to stop and live along the way. Why do I say that? Because tomorrow is not guaranteed for none of us. Okay? Tomorrow is not guaranteed. So learn to enjoy life. If you have to work a job and you hate that job, still learn to enjoy your job. Talk to your coworkers, be friends with your coworkers. Make the best of your job. If you're sitting at a cubicle, make the best of it. Do the John Greeny rule. He used to be an engineer. He retired when he was like 36. He called it the 3-for-1 rule. When he was behind a computer, he would try to do 3 things personal for every 1 thing work related, something like that. And this was back in the 80s and 90s. Nowadays, the younger generation is talking about a 3.5-day work week instead of a 5-day work week. So it's like maybe you don't need the 3-for-1 rule. Just work 3.5 days and get all that time off to do your personal stuff. But along the way, learn how to invest. And do learn about real estate. Yes, I know interest rates are high right now. Yes, I know prices of homes can be a little high right now. But there are still deals out there. There are still deals. Study your market. Learn how to run numbers. I'll rehash it real quick in case you're a new viewer. Okay? And I'll try to do easy math here off the top of my head. If you're buying a house for $100,000, you put 20% down. So you take a loan for $80,000. Okay? That $80,000, let's say you get rent of $1,000 a month. Out of that $1,000 a month rent, you have to pay your mortgage. Okay, so when the rent comes in, you got to pay your mortgage. That mortgage includes principal and interest, taxes, and insurance. You pay all that. You also need to pay your property manager. Typically, they charge about 10%. You pay that. You also have to hold out money for vacancies, repairs, and capital expenditures. Your home will go vacant. You still got to pay the mortgage. You will get repairs. Your pool pump dies. Your sink starts leaking. It's a repair. You will get capital expenditures. You need a new roof on the building. You need to buy a new HVAC. Okay? So you have to hold out that money so you have it, because those expenses will come along. And you will have a vacancy at some point where you will have to rehab your house because your tenant damaged it, messed it up. Okay? It's warm up here, but I'm going to find some shade, I think. I mean, it's pleasant up here is what I'm meant to say, but I'm going to find some shade. I don't like to stay out in the sun too long. I'll walk to the other end of the building while I'm meandering about. So anyway, learn to run the numbers, study your market, and find out what are the prices houses are selling at. And whatever they're selling at, run the numbers. Like if you got a mortgage on it, what are your taxes? What are your insurance? Hold out their percentages. I typically hold out 20% for vacancy repairs, capital expenditures, 10% for property manager. That's 30%. Do you have to pay to shovel snow? Do you have to pay to cut grass? If you do, hold that out. Okay? And then practice running numbers. If you see the typical house in your neighborhood that you want to buy is $150,000, what's the rent on it? Is the rent $1,000 a month? Is it $1,500 a month? Is it $2,000 a month? I don't know. It's your neighborhood. So you run the numbers, tweak the numbers till they work, because you have to have positive cash flow. That's my point. When you subtract all your expenses, you have to, whatever's left is positive cash flow. Never buy something that's negative cash flowing. You always got to make money. Positive cash flow. And with positive cash flow, the more you make, the better, right? So, but say if it's a hypothetical $100,000 house, $250 a month, $300 a month, that's okay cash flow. That should be a decent return. 10%, 12%, 15% return. Maybe you can get a 20% return. Maybe you can get a 30% return. Okay? Remember with real estate that you get a couple things. You get that cash on cash return. You also get your tenant paying the rent, which your tenant is now paying your mortgage. So you get mortgage pay down from your tenant. Tenant pays all expenses, tenant pays all repairs, tenant pays upgrades over time. You also get tax benefits. You get every dollar you spend on interest and taxes and repairs and stuff is a write-off. It might not be a full write-off, or maybe it will be a full write-off. Some repairs are amortized over a period of years. Okay, so you're not getting it all right now. You get it over a period, maybe 7.5 years, 6.5 years, whatever it might be. Like that's for appliances and just different things. Okay, but I've said this before, and I'll say it again. In my humble opinion, real estate is the best way to build wealth. Because I was a stock investor for a long time, decades. And yeah, I got a little chunk of money, but I was not wealthy. I would not have been financially independent. I would have been that extra lean financial independence. When I started buying real estate without using that stock money, I went from 0 to 25 rentals in about 4 years. And at that point, I became financially independent. What I decided to do, though, different than what you may do, or maybe not, I decided I wanted to move out of my area. I decided I wanted to move to a higher cost of living area, which was South Florida. It was more expensive there. And I decided I wanted a house with a swimming pool to be on a Gulf Access Canal, and that's what I did. And I built a dock and a tiki hut. That's what I did. I still own that house. Okay, it's going to become an Airbnb. All right, I'm going to sell it in the future, though, I do believe. So I'm going to get back around in the shade somewhere. So I changed my standard of living. I improved my standard of living. I'm now living in a foreign country off of primarily all my investments, because I do have a pension. But I'm living off my investments. And while I'm paying all expenses for my house up in Florida, I am paying to live down here. So how lean of financial independence am I? I also have a major big tax bill that I'm paying. So somehow I'm going to get it all paid. I'm also shopping for a vehicle. Somehow I will get that vehicle bought. I may even buy a house down here in Panama. Not today, but it may happen at some point. So maybe I'm not as lean financially independent as I say. Or maybe I am. I'm still frugal. I still have on one of the same shirts that I was wearing up in Florida. This thing's old. Once I get a vehicle, I'm gonna rent a vehicle. Should get it later today. And I need to get to some stores and buy some basic clothing, because I didn't bring all my clothing down with me anyway. So, how do you like these heights up here? It's different. Standards are different. Like, can you imagine being in the United States? See where my hand is, that handrail? Could you imagine being in the United States on top of a building where that handrail is just above my waist? Okay? You could easily fall over that edge. In the U.S., it'd probably be up to here, or 8 feet high or something. So you couldn't climb over or jump over. I don't know what that was. Must have been a horn somewhere. You can hear a lot of stuff when you're up here from out there. You hear dogs barking from out there. So anyway, it's beautiful here. It's beautiful. But it's a foreign country. There are pros and cons about every area of the world. And before you go live in a foreign country, visit the foreign country. So I'm going to give a shout out here. I don't know if he'll watch this. Darius. If any of you know Darius is in my mastermind group. Millennial Mike, if you reach out to Darius, tell him to watch this video. I think he would love Panama. Him and anyone else who's interested in a foreign country, you need to come down to Panama to visit. And try to do it. Don't just try to come for 3, 4, 5 days. Try to come for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Take a period of time and really stay here. Get an Airbnb, maybe in a condo. Maybe you rent a house out there in that community out there. Or some other part of Panama. From Panama City up to Chiriquí, Boquete, David, Volcan, all the way up near Costa Rica. And everything in between. This is Coronado. You got down that way is Gorgona. Down the other way, the other side of the building is San Carlos and Rio Hato and other places. You got all kinds of cities. You got San Francisco as part of Panama City. You got Santa Fe, a town in the mountains. You got El Valle, another charming town in the mountains. You got beach communities. You got mountain communities. You got a big city. You can live on the beach and see the mountains. You can live in the mountains and be 20 minutes from the beach. Or maybe you live in the middle with a swimming pool. You go to the beach in 10 minutes, you go to the mountains in 15 minutes, or whatever you do. Okay? So along the way, yes, be frugal, always be frugal. But along the way, stop and smell the roses. Take a vacation. If you're watching this, come on down for a visit here in Panama. I may not let you stay at my house because I don't know you, but contact me. I can tell you where to stay at or give you recommendations. You know, you got to pick out your own spots. I can give you recommendations, or I can give you recommendations on a place to rent a car at, or stores to shop in, or restaurants to eat in, or whatever it may be. There's actually a Starbucks in this area now. I was just here 6 months ago, and there was no Starbucks here. Now there's a Starbucks. This country is growing like crazy. That's good and bad. Keeps growing. I may not stay here. You know, too many people might come. So, but anyway, with that being said, this video is getting long. Have a great day, Darius. I hope you watch this, or hope you get word to watch it. And Mi Casita is open for you if you want to visit. Same with Millennial Mike, same with my buddy Will, same with Caleb, same with, I believe, about anybody in my mastermind group. I may charge you a nominal fee to cover expenses, but I'm not making a profit off of it. Maybe, it depends on who you are. If you're my sons, maybe not. So anyway, let me know what you think. Share below your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. And if you got a topic you want me to talk on, put it in the comments below or shoot me an email. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Maskies signing out.